Being born a prince sounds like a dream, right? For Crown Prince Yixian, later known as Prince Sado, it was a nightmare with royal trimmings. Born in 1735 to King Yangzhou of Joseon, Sado's life was a pressure cooker of impossible expectations and growing dread. His story is one of privilege, pressure, paranoia, and, ultimately, tragedy, a grim reminder of how societal expectations and mental illness can collide with catastrophic results. Let's start with his dad, King Yangzhou, who was the epitome of tough love, minus the love. From childhood, Sado was terrified of his father. Yangzhou was a stern, perfection-obsessed king who made it crystal clear that his son was not meeting the mark. Public scoldings? Routine. Humiliation in court? Daily. Nothing Sado did could please his father. From the moment he could walk, Yixian's life was a royal boot camp. The boy grew up in constant fear. Every misstep, every flaw was met with scorn and humiliation. Daddy Dearest wasn't shy about publicly shaming him in court. Imagine being berated in front of an entire room of ministers, daily. By the time Sado reached adulthood, his mental health was in shambles. He became unpredictable, violent, and erratic. Unable to process his father's rejection, he took out his rage on palace staff, beating eunuchs, assaulting ladies-in-waiting, and even walking into his chambers holding the severed head of a servant, forcing his wife, Lady Hyegyang, to look at it. And let's not forget the clothes. Sado developed a bizarre phobia of getting dressed. It took 20 to 30 outfits laid out just for him to pick one, and if anything went wrong, he'd fly into a murderous rage, sometimes literally killing the people trying to help him. Lady Hyegyang's memoirs reveal a man tormented by his inner demons, but also one capable of horrific acts. While she insisted he never harmed her directly, save for one incident involving a go-board thrown at her face, she documented his violence toward others in gruesome detail. By 1762, Sado's erratic behavior hit a breaking point. After an altercation with an official, rumors spread that he planned to kill the official's son, and even worse, his own father, King Yangzhou. The court was buzzing with whispers of treachery, and his mother, royal consort Yang, pleaded with the king to take action. Ever image-conscious, Yangzhou faced an impossible choice. His heir was mentally unfit to rule, but executing his own son outright would violate Confucian ideals of filial piety and potentially endanger Sado's wife and son under communal punishment laws. After all, a father killing his child would be a PR disaster for the Joseon dynasty. So Yangzhou came up with a solution that was as clever as it was horrifying. He wouldn't kill Sado directly, he'd let nature do the dirty work. On a scorching July day in 1762, Yangzhou ordered Sado to climb into a wooden rice chest. Sado begged for his life, but ultimately, he complied. The chest was tied shut, covered with grass, and moved to the upper palace. For 7 agonizing days, Sado's cries could be heard. On the 8th day, silence. The chest was opened, and Sado was pronounced dead. Here's where things get even more twisted. To save face and ensure the throne's continuity, Yangzhou restored Sado's title posthumously, giving him the name Sado, meaning thinking of with great sorrow. He then banned any mention of Sado's name for the rest of his reign, leaving the prince as both a symbol of royal shame and tragedy. Fast forward to King Yangzhou's death, and enter Jiangzhou, Sado's son. Now here's where the story takes a surprising turn. As soon as he ascended the throne, Jiangzhou shattered the silence and made a bold declaration. I am the son of Prince Sado. Was it an act of bravery? A cry of bitterness? A declaration of filial devotion? Probably all three. Jiangzhou spent much of his reign honoring his father's legacy, even changing his posthumous name to Crown Prince Jangyan, a title of dignity, though it came too late to save Sado. The story of Prince Sado is more than a tragic footnote in Korean history. It's a tale of a father's impossible expectations, a son's tortured mind, a victim of unbearable pressure, untreated mental illness, and a merciless court. Or was he a cruel man who sealed his own fate? The truth lies somewhere in the haunting shadow of his rice chest, where justice, cruelty, and sorrow collide in one of Korea's most tragic royal tales.